Hey everybody, welcome back to AI Jedi. Oh yeah, let me show you. I'm sort of a Star Wars fan. That's Han, frozen in carbonite. Friend gave that to me. It's a actual door. It's really cool. Okay, today's video, I promised you that I would show you how to do re-identification. So it's a computer vision use case where you might have a video. You want to look at surveillance video and see if the same person was captured on camera on two different cameras. So for example, uh, it's a hard problem in airports. So somebody's walking and it's tracking the person, but then when the person goes behind a pillar or something and emerges from the other side, the computer is unable to tell in a lot of cases that that's the same person. It thinks that's a different person now and starts tracking that person and assigns an ID to that person. So what I'm going to show you is how to avoid that and how to use OpenAI and Chat-GPT 4.0 OMNI, the API, to actually look at frames of a person. It can be on the same day when they're wearing the same clothes, or it could even be on different days. That's actually what I'm going to show you right now, on different days, how that works. Okay, let's go and I'll show you the example here. Okay, so first, before we get started, again, this is Google Colab. I use that. You can use Jupyter, you can use whatever. First thing we need to do, which I already did this morning, was install OpenAI. There's the command right there, pip install. And I did the upgrade OpenAI just to make sure I got the latest version. We can actually run this again. It's not going to hurt. Okay, requirement already satisfied. Okay, just takes a second. Okay, check mark. 7 seconds, it's done. Okay, again, we have to install .env. And if these commands don't seem familiar to you, check out my first video where I go through all this in more detail. But you need to install this .env so that we can get our API key, load our API key file, and then extract our environmental variable, which is our API key. Okay, so we run that, just takes a second. There we go, almost done. Done, check mark. Okay, now we're gonna open OpenAI. We already installed it, now we're gonna open it, just takes a second. Now we're gonna import the operating system because we need this once we load our file. Let me move myself over here to show you again. Okay. In Google Colab, you want to put your stuff in the content file. It really helps. So I loaded my OpenAI underscore API underscore key.env, environmental variable. Remember, that's just a notepad file, and you can see that in my first video. That's just a notepad file that all it has, you'll see, is the API key, your secret key. You can't paste your secret key into your code because it's a secret. You don't want anybody to see it, so you have to extract it here. Okay, so the next thing is, let's do that, import the OS. So that's that command right there, import OS. Next command, we need to actually import .env. That's done. All right. Now, this command, load underscore .env, you will recall from my other videos, this will actually take this file, will actually take our notepad file that we saved as a .env file, and it will load it up. Next, the operating system, we're going to use this command, this get command, to actually grab our secret key from the file. We loaded it above, now we're going to grab it. Done, takes less than a second. Now we'll just make sure that we initialize the OpenAI client. Okay, here we go. Now we're ready to actually do some API calls. I guess I'm going to make another video so you can see actually how to go set up an API and fund it on Open AI. It's really cheap. I'll show you how to do it. But today, again, re-identification. So I'm going to show you, I've got two sample pictures here. So there's a picture of me standing there with green sneakers, jeans, and a crimson shirt. And on another day, I've got a picture of me staring at the ceiling, okay, with my Open AI shirt. Okay, so two different days. So this is a really cool problem because it's going to try to re-identify me with different clothes on. So that's actually quite impressive. If you've tried to use Facebook's Detectron 2 model for re-identification, it's tricky. I can get it to work like on the same day when the person's wearing the same clothes, but I can't get it to quite work very well anyway when it's different days, different clothes. So let's see. The first thing we're going to do, okay, here are the commands here to load some things, which we kind of already did. The one that you didn't load up above, we didn't load up above, was we didn't import base 64. Recall from the other videos, if I'm going to send a picture to OpenAI's API, I have to make sure that I encode it with this base 64. Okay, I've made two image paths, and I've put my pictures, this one in the first image path, and this one in the second. Remember, you can copy your paths right from here, and then you can just paste them right in there. I'll just show you just so you see. That way you make sure your path is perfect and you know exactly where, the code knows exactly where your images are. Okay, here's just a simple function to encode both images. You could have as many images as you want. And I'm assigning variables base64 underscore image to the first encoded image, base64 underscore image 2 to the second image. Very simple. You could name them actually whatever you want, but I'm naming those. You see here we load .env and do the API key. We use the operating system to go get the key again. We already did that above. I'm just including it here in case I'll paste this code later so you have it all. All right, now here's the difference, and here's where we're building on the other videos. In the other videos, we would send a single picture, or we would send frames of a video. We would grab every third frame of a video and send it to the OpenAI API. This time, for starters, what we're going to do in this example is I'm going to show you how to send both of the pictures of the person from two different videos, right? So this, just assume that this is a frame, one picture, a frame from one security video, and this is a frame from another security video. So I'm going to send both pictures over to the OpenAI OMNI API. You see here where I have the pound sign? What I'm doing here is I'm commenting out this for right now. So I'm not actually telling ChatGPT what an expert it is. I'm just going to let it generalize, okay? Here, I'm just asking it the question, is it the same person in both images? Let me comment out this. Okay, so all we're going to do here is send the two pictures and say, hey, is it the same person in both images? And watch what happens. Takes just a second. It's going out and sending it the API. I cannot determine if it is the same person in both images. Now that's because we did not tell ChatGPT what an expert it was at surveillance. So let's tell it that it's a little bit like Sherlock Holmes here. So we'll uncomment that and we'll comment out the general question. Okay, so here's what we're doing now. Now we're going to say to ChatGPT. You are a security, surveillance, and efficiency expert. I don't know why we don't have to say that, but you are very good at observing human hairstyles, clothing colors, body types, gender, and age. You could say whatever you like here. I made that up to see how well it would do. Now, the question I'm going to ask it is, here are two images. Does this appear to be the same person? If so, please provide a probability. So I didn't say, is it the same person in both images? I didn't make it sort of a binary decision, a difficult binary decision for the computer. I actually said, here are two images. Does it appear to be the same person? And if so, please provide a probability, because I want a percentage. Because the percentage, if it's high enough, we might have a threshold that we create where we accept that in our re-identification logic as we build out bigger programs and stuff. Okay, so here we go. So this time it's going to say I'm a surveillance expert, or it's a surveillance expert, and it's going to show two images. Here we go. It's going. All right, look at this. Based on the provided images, the following observations can be made. Body type and build. Both individuals have a similar body type and build. It's very flattering too, with muscular arms and a similar posture. Both have a similar head shape and are bald. Facial hair patterns, short beard or stubble. Skin tone, skin tone appears to be similar in both issues. Given these similarities, it is highly probable that the two images depict the same person. Okay, here's the cool part. Probability. Approximately 85% of these images are of the same person. It does say, there's a caveat there, it's not possible to be 100% certain, but it's giving us an 85% probability. So there you go. That's a simple way to do re-identification. In a future video, what I'll do is, instead of loading two separate images, what we'll do is we'll load two separate videos, surveillance videos, of me walking around or someone else walking around. And what we'll do then is we'll write some code to extract every third or fourth frame from those, from both videos, and then compare them just like we did there, and see if it can bring back a probability. So that way you can load surveillance videos to see, you can run surveillance videos through this code. There's one other video I want to show you too. It's about facial recognition. And so we'll build a simple facial recognition model in the future here. And please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, AI Jedi. We'll have a lot of videos in the future, mainly around computer vision, but I'll throw some other things in there too to teach you, and we'll just keep building on them. And one project that we could do is, I could show you how you can capture someone's face and simultaneously capture their body and tie the face to the body. And let me give you an example. Someone walks into a lobby at your workplace. Let's say they sign in on an iPad or something like that, on a tablet. When they're signing in, the tablet could actually take a picture of their face, tie it to the name that they're typing in, and timestamp that photo, but also simultaneously take a photo from the lobby cam of their full body and tie all those things together, so that that person, anytime they visit your location or walk around your building or visit, even if you can't identify them on all your cameras with facial recognition, you've tied their body to their face, so you're able to, with a high degree of certainty, you're able to track and re-identify that person no matter where they go in your organization, or however you're using your surveillance cameras, for example. Okay, that's the end of today's lesson. I'll see you at the next video. Thank you. Bye.